Welcome back to Parking Lot Chats with Lauren
and Bo.
So, what's up? Should we talk about Diddy first?
I think that's where we should start off because that's where we ended last week, and then literally the next day, the verdict was announced. Right?
I think it was the next day.
I think it was the next day, and then this doesn't even come out till Wednesday. So
right.
I don't know. I want to say I'm shocked, but I'm honestly, I mean, we said from the beginning we were shocked that it even made it that far. You know?
And it's just sad, you know what I mean? Because, he was doing way more fucked up shit than y'all accused him of, but...
Right. And it just shows, okay, so this is what I don't understand. Let's read the verdict. I'm sure at this point, this was almost a week ago, so I'm sure...
Oh, wait.
I feel like if you are watching this or listening to us, you already know what the verdict
we know what the verdict is,
you know what I mean? Right. But I feel like maybe we should just... re-say them, whatever. Okay, so he was found not guilty on racketeering conspiracy, sex trafficking by force, fraud, or coercion, and sex trafficking by by force, fraud, or coercion. So there was 2 charges on that. One was for Cassie, and one was for Jane Doe. That wasn't her name in the trial, but we don't know who she actually is. And then he was found guilty on transportation to engage in prostitution twice, once for each victim. So what I don't understand is how can you be found guilty in transportation to engage in prostitution, but not guilty in sex trafficking by force, fraud, or coercion?
Well, I think what they're saying is, the age-old thing they love to say. They clearly wanted it.
Right, what we knew they were going to say.
And people keep saying on the internet, and it's so true. They're like, this is why, people always be like, oh, well, if she had this and why didn't she come forward? Why didn't she say it? This is why. Because now they came forward, and guess what? They're going to get pneumonia'd. You know what I mean?
Right. And now they came forward, and then they were just told that pretty much men in power can do whatever the fuck they want to do.
Absolutely.
To you.
Absolutely. We didn't already fucking know.
That, it just kind of, discredited that men with power... Or I'm sure there's females out there too.
Right, Lou Taylor, don't let that hoe get by.
Abuse the power, and then they're not found in a court of law guilty for anything.
Right. People in power can do whatever the fuck they want. It doesn't matter what you say.
Right. Because because you thought that you were benefiting from it? But she didn't stay because she was afraid for her life.
And that's the thing. But, they're going to argue that, well, you couldn't have been that scared. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I guess that's what happened. You know what I mean? It is.
They are you're so mentally fucked by your abuser that, you don't stay because you want to.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that they're just pretty much saying that that's not true.
No, what do you mean?
Right. It's so frustrating.
What do you mean? He blew up your ex-boyfriend's car, broke into his house, tried to kill people that were related to him because you were dating him, but you can't think that you were in danger because of that.
Right.
That's not a reason for you to stay and think that you were scared.
Because you wanted to.
You clearly just like sucking dick. What the fuck? He literally blew up Kid Cudi's car because he found out that him and Cassie were dating. And this came out in trial. And Kid Cudi went and said, yes, this happened. But she couldn't have been scared for her life, obviously. She just wanted that dick.
It's so
fucking kidding me. He came and said, no, he blew up my car because he heard that we were together. And that we're just acting like that part didn't happen.
No, they acted like a lot of it didn't fucking happen.
Right.
Except transporting across state lines or something. I don't fucking know.
I feel like it's just disappointing.
Right.
It's just disappointing. Like you said, it's not something that we're necessarily surprised about, but we had hoped that it would go better.
Right.
We're positive people.
It was the fact that it even made it to trial. We were
cool.
Wow. Okay, here we are. Maybe we will get somewhere. This is actually happening. No. In the end, let fucking down.
No.
And he just I don't know. He hasn't been sentenced, right?
No.
Of yet, as of us recording this.
Yeah, I checked earlier, and I saw earlier that he hadn't, or unless my internet's lying to me, but I was on like all of the gossip mags right before we got here, so like I didn't see anything about it, and I went back like a couple of days to just see what else is going on, and I didn't see anything about it. I did hear that he was like denied bond until sentencing, so I mean I guess that's promising, but it would have been cool if y'all got him on some better charges.
How long has he been there? How long has he been locked up?
I don't know.
Because like someone was like, is he gonna get time served?
What nappy diet?
Because I think a minimum's like 2 to 10 years or something like that he can be sentenced, right? I think I read that, and then someone was like, can he get time served?
Okay, so stupid AI overview. I don't want the AI overview.
I mean, I guess the hope is he gets the max, but is he going to?
Well, Yahoo.com said expert reveals Diddy faces very long prison sentence due to hint from judge. So that's probably not. He's already spent 9 months in jail. So that's what Yahoo's saying, which I don't even know Yahoo News was still a thing, but.
So he could get those 9 months. He probably will, right? Get those 9 months
as time served.
But like do longer than, you know what I mean? Like, because even if he gets 2 years, he has 9 months in.
Yeah, I was gonna see if they had any. Yahoo News had a opinion, but they don't. So.
Yeah. Fucking stupid.
It is stupid.
And now, like, does that set a precedent, right, in the court of law? Because a lot of times I feel like I'm not a lawyer or anything like that, or do I know a whole lot about court, but I feel like it's a thing where they, like, take other cases to use as examples on how another case should go.
Absolutely.
Right?
That's a thing. Yeah, that is a thing.
So, like, now...
they're setting a precedent. You're right.
Right.
And they're going to be able to use this case down the line to be like, well,
he wasn't, he was found not guilty.
And like his assistant went in front and said all these crazy things that he did to her that she saw him do, and we're just
oh well. They liked it.
Oh well, she's got a vagina. Why would we listen to her?
So annoying.
Just gonna piss ourselves off in the first 5 minutes.
We are. Like, fuck that. I
know. I was honestly in shock.
Yeah.
It's been a week and I still haven't really processed. It's really fucked up.
Does he get out and still has the power that he had?
I saw an article earlier that said when he went back into the prison,
they all clapped or something.
Yeah, he's gonna have more power. He's gonna have more power. Because now he's got a whole prison worth of inmates fucking on his side.
Yeah, but does he have the power in the music industry? Does he have the power? Does he continue to get to do what he was doing before?
I don't know. Kanye and his kids just put out a fucking album about how great he is. So possibly.
Fuck off.
Yeah, Kanye and Diddy's kids put out an album called like Free King Combs or some bullshit. I was on Ye's Instagram. Because that's just a source of good news sometimes.
Can we, like, collectively as, like,
people decide that he's insane? I think we did.
Yeah, but can we collectively, like, not support it?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going... Yeah, bad boy worldview.
Fuck off.
New King Combs project, Never Stop, dropping tonight, executive produced by me. And that was the 26th, which was... Last week. So...
No.
But, I mean, we know that Kanye is on his insane shit right now.
Well, yeah, he likes to do anything that draws attention. So, no matter if it's good attention or bad attention, like...
I feel like he's going for the bad, though.
Yeah, he just doesn't fucking care. It's what's in the news right now, so he's going to be a part of it. And he doesn't want to get pneumonia, so he's going to be on...
fair enough.
The side that's going to keep him alive and get him in the news.
Fucking Kanye.
All right, I guess moving on from there.
I guess. We're just going to fuel our anger for another couple minutes talking about this shit.
Well, we can talk about another asshole dude
do it.
That's trying to fuck a woman.
Oh, I didn't see any of that.
Not like that. Like, in the business world.
Metaphorically.
Blake Lively subpoenas Perez Hilton and Candace Owens in effort to prove Justin Baldoni's alleged smear campaign. Good.
That's fun.
Yeah, I hope that she gets that approved. I'd love to see that.
Yeah, that sounds like a good time.
Yeah, because they are definitely paid to say shit.
Yeah.
Some way, somehow.
Some way, somehow, for sure. I'm interested in seeing how that goes.
Me too.
So he's dropped his suits, right? He's admitted that he's a fucking moron.
Yeah, and then you had time to, like, redo it or whatever, and he never fucking redid it. And then, like, he's just, yeah, it's kind of, his shit's all died. I haven't heard anything new. And she's steadily still building hers.
Good.
Right.
So, can all the internet haters just go back to their fucking holes then?
No, they'll find something else.
Team Justin. So fucking stupid.
He was in Disney the other day.
Was he?
Yeah.
My Disney?
People were taking pictures.
Or California?
I don't know, actually.
Good. Keep his ass in California.
Yeah, I don't know. I just saw people, like, posting about him.
I didn't see it, so it must have been California. I mean, like, I follow, like, accounts from both sides, but I feel like I would have saw it if it was here, I feel like.
Right. Yeah, I don't remember.
You know, just everybody that I follow is cool enough not to post about him.
Yeah, I don't.
Which I doubt.
I don't know where it came up on my shit. You know, just like random scrolling. I just remember seeing it and being like, "Fuck him."
Yeah, fuck him. What else? Now that you mentioned him in Disney, do you want to tell me what else? You said you were going to say something about Disney.
Yeah. Okay. Sure.
I don't know. You can just say unless you got something else.
I know. I was trying to remember. So, I read a thing. Obviously, you do lines. Okay, the whole line jumping thing. Okay. So it's been going on at Universal too, and then I just read something the other day about Disney that like holding a spot in line. So people who are saying, "Oh, I just had to go to the bathroom, my mom's up there," and then like go up to your mom. So they're considering that, like, I guess Disney's now saying like that is line skipping, and Universal is putting a stop to that too, because apparently it's become like very common.
It's really fucking terrible. And like, if you are coming back with a small child and you are meeting somebody, like, I get it, kids gotta pee, but like, also like, pee before you get in the line. I always make my kid pee before we get in a long line. You know what I mean? And like, and it is, here's the thing, like, it absolutely is, and it'll be fucking 10 teenagers, and they'll be like, I'm just meeting my... No, the fuck you're not. No, you're not.
And then they get to where, though? And they just get somewhere and then decide that's far enough?
And I never see where they get, so I don't know. Do they get to the person that stops them and says no? Do they find someone in line that looks cool and they're like, hey... And the person's like, fine, whatever, that's on their phone. You know what I mean? Do they find someone? Because there's also a lot of people, the phone thing is a problem in lines too. And like, Disney will come up over the speaker and be like, please keep up with the person ahead of you 10 times when you're in a line. Because people will be on their phones and they're not paying attention. So you could get up to that person and absolutely nobody would question you. Because that person's not even going to fucking notice. You know what I mean? And then they say over the speaker, move ahead. And then everybody moves ahead. So I never see where they go. But it does happen. It happens... I don't want to exaggerate because I do that a lot. So I want to say probably like 1 out of every 3 lines that I get and it fucking happens. Like, it's a lot. And like a lot of times it will be like a group of teenagers. And like sometimes it will be like one person by themselves or like, but even like one person, if you were by yourself, I don't know. We've had situations where we were halfway through a line and my kid really had to pee and we got out of line and then we got back into the back of the line because we're the ones that left the line.
Right.
I'm not saying that like everyone needs to operate that way. If you want to leave somebody in the line, whatever. And then there's also been situations at Disney, especially where, and these people are defending this on these Disney groups and act. There's some of these Disney groups I had to get out of. Some of these people are wildly fucking entitled, but they act like this is okay for one person to stand in line for an hour and then 10 others meet them when they're in the front.
Right.
I don't think that that's right either because. If it's a 2-person per line ride, you're now adding, you know what I mean?
Well,
like
yeah,
multiple cars.
And the wait time posted is based off of where the line is in the line, right? Like where the line ends.
Right.
In there they have like they know, like if
they
it's
know
from
right
here,
how long it takes.
Yeah.
From there,
so if you're adding 10 people, you're fucking up that.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely. And you see a lot of people defending that and being like, well, you know, my kid doesn't want to stand in line, so they don't have to. Okay, but like, yeah.
No,
if you want to ride the ride, you do. You have to learn.
Nobody wants to stand in line.
Right. You think my kid wants to stand in line? No.
Right.
But guess what? He's going to fucking stand in the line if he wants to ride the goddamn ride.
Right. It's just annoying because there is those instances where like you've been in a fucking hour line and you've got a fucking 2-year-old that is just 4-year-old that's screaming that they have to go to the bathroom, and then to get out of that line when you have like 2 parents, then one could stay in the line and like push out to go to the bathroom. Like, I feel like that should be okay, but then when people start taking advantage of it, you like have to put a stop to all of it because you don't know.
I agree with that, and I don't know if there's some way to like compromise and be like, if the child's under 5 years old, if you have a child under 5 years old with you, then it's okay. You know what I mean?
Right.
But like, if you as an adult just left,
No, you gotta get back.
No, right. That's on you. You know what I mean? Or like, if you're in the line and you had a coffee and the line's longer than you thought, and now you got to shit your pants, then you got to get in the back of the line. I'm sorry, you're an adult.
Right.
But right, if it's a little kid, I feel like there should be an age on that. You know, like 4 or 5 under. But like, my kid's 6, and I would not get out of the line to let him pee and then try to get back to where I was.
Right.
I would get in the back of the line.
Right.
But we also like, there's a couple rides that we know, like Remy, Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, stuff like that, where like, you know, there's a good chance that the line's going to be an hour. We always go in the bathroom first. Even if he says he doesn't have to pee, you're going to go in there and try. You know what I mean? Because
not getting the fuck out of the line.
And like, and I don't want to be, I'm not going to be pushing back through everybody. You know what I mean? Right. Yeah. I'm not going to do that because I know how I feel when y'all do it.
Right.
And like I said, if it really was just like little kids, like when I see a parent and a small child saying, oh, my family, blah, 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 I will never have a problem. I'm always like, oh yeah, no, go ahead. Cool. But when it's 6 fucking people and they're all over the age of fucking 15,
yeah, no. Yeah, so I heard that Universal and Disney are like cracking down on that, like people saying, oh, my family's up there.
I really hope so. Yeah. I haven't heard anything about it. Because like I said, I have these people in these fucking things and I say they like defend this
and then
shit.
You don't want to like speak up because then you're the fucking Karen, you know what I mean? And, like, I saw a video the other day of like a lady who spoke up, and then the mom started recording her, and then it was like tried to post her as like a Karen, and thankfully for that woman, it was a woman, like the people around her came to her defense, like saw the viral TikTok video, and like came to her defense and was like, no, this is not how it fucking happened. I have my video of it and my version of it, you know what I mean? And so they were all like,
what was happening? Were they trying to skip her?
Yeah, it was like a teenage girl who had done it, and a mom, and who had done it like, this was like the 3rd time that they encountered these same people coming up, and then this time they came up from like the handicapped or something like that, and then tried to like get in the line. But she saw it happen multiple times
with the same people.
With the same people that day, so she knew that they were just fucking skipping. You know, they weren't meeting anybody, and she went to go take a picture of the daughter, which was like a teenager, like a 17-year-old, you know, so that she could show a staff member once they got to a staff member, like, these people have been doing this all day. And then the mom saw her and started flipping out that she took a picture of her minor.
And so she started recording her.
And so she started recording her.
What a hypocrite.
Right. And then the lady is like, I'm sorry, like, I didn't know she was a minor, I'll delete it. But at that point, now she didn't even need the picture anymore, because now the mom is like screaming, so that's drawn attention, and staff members came over, and then the other people ended up getting pulled out of the line, and the woman who like took the original picture ended up going on the ride, and like nothing was said to her.
How dumb are you, though, to cause a scene when you're the one being the asshole?
When you're the one being the asshole.
You're the one being the asshole. Read the room.
Right. Because she tried to turn it into, like, the other person being the asshole taking a picture of her daughter. Like, tried to tell her she was, like, a pedophile or whatever.
But you knew that you were in the wrong when you got to the situation that the picture was taken. You would have never gotten into the situation.
But she didn't want to be... She was trying to deflect it so that...
Stupid.
Yeah. Yeah.
People like that deserve what they fucking get. Absolutely, you deserve that. Because it's one thing to be a scumbag asshole, and then one thing to double down and try to turn it around on the other person. Like, are you fucking kidding me?
Right.
I hope they got banned. Where was this, at Disney?
Oh, fuck. I actually don't remember which park it was.
Oh. I hope they get a ban.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think she knew. Like, she didn't follow up with it or anything like that. Like, no one even... I believe, like, she just continued on in the line. Like, they pulled the other people out. And then someone said, like, a staff member was waiting for them to talk to them. But then by the time they got off the ride, no one was... there to talk to them, so they just continued on their day.
Yeah.
So she doesn't know, like, I don't think she knew exactly what happened to those other people.
My petty ass would have went to guest services and been like, I hope these people are getting banned. Here's the picture that I didn't delete yet.
Right.
Because they caused the
here's
fucking
the video
scene.
that my line neighbor sent me.
Right, my line buddy.
Because, yeah, the mom wasn't saying anything to, like, the line buddy that was recording it, too. Only, why are you recording my daughter? Only to the lady who...
Took the picture.
Took the picture and was trying to out her for line jumping.
Yeah, the shit is pretty obnoxious, honestly. It's pretty bad.
It's just annoying. Like, no one wants to wait in line, so.
And I feel like that's even worse, though. Like, it's a mom and a teenager. Like, so you are the adult, and you're showing this younger person that this is a good thing to do.
Right.
And not only this is a good thing to do, but if somebody catches you, cause a scene and turn it around on them.
Right. Double down.
Asshole.
Yeah, so fuck, don't line jump. It's not, it's rude.
It's rude. Again, if you have a small kid that needs to pee, we get it. I feel like that's a universally understood thing. Everyone understands that. You know what I mean?
Little kids just don't understand, and they can't fucking do it. And
right, they're working on bladder control.
You know, sometimes you gotta choose, like, fucking, no one wants wet underpants, you know what I mean?
Right. And I feel like...
pee in the line. I'd rather you go and come back to your family than the kid pee in line.
Or pee in the seat. Now I sit in a seat to piss.
Right.
One time when we were kids, a really long time ago, we were at the boardwalk in New Jersey in Wildwood. I don't know if anyone knows that, but it's like a fair. It's like an amusement park, right? Maurice Pier. We're on Maurice Pier. And me and my cousin were real young, and she doesn't do well on, like, spinning rides, but we did all of them. We did the fucking Himalayan, and we did something else, and now we're on the swings. And she starts puking.
Oh, fuck.
And this guy, and my mom is standing there watching us. She's not on the ride because it's the fucking flying swings. And this guy is laughing at my cousin puking all over. We're like 7, 8 years old. And my mom starts yelling at him, and they're arguing or whatever. And then he's like, fuck you. And we get off the ride. And before anyone comes and cleans up, he's yelling at my mom, not paying attention, and sits in her puke. And it was just the best thing ever.
Oh my God.
So that's what you get when you make fun of kids that get sick.
Fucking karma.
Instant karma. So my point is, kids, you know, things happen with kids. Like, we gotta be cool to that.
Oh, what are the fucking chances that he sat in that swing? Oh my God.
It was so good.
I bet your mom died.
She did. She loved it. Yeah.
So fucking funny.
Oh yeah, she loved it. That was one of her favorite stories to tell.
Yeah.
And Jillian puked.
And the dick sat in it. I don't know. Honestly, there wasn't really a whole lot of, like, what do you got for Disney? Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, what do you got? Yeah.
Okay, well, yeah, I just said my Disney stuff. Okay, so my Disney stuff is what I already said last week. One of it is The Rivers of America had its last day yesterday. R.I.P. I'm glad nobody broke a fucking ankle in Tom Sawyer's Island. So as of today, the app is showing, like, just trees in that area, and everybody's like, my Disney Experience app's breaking my heart. I don't give a fuck about Tom Sawyer's Island. But it's closed. So, you know, there was these brothers, and they wrote the original music for a lot of shit for Walt Disney. They wrote It's a Small World. So one of them died, whatever, in 2012, and then the other one in 2004. But before the one in 2004, so it was Robert and Richard Sherman. So they wrote a lot of original stuff for Disney. Robert passed in 2012, Richard in 2024. But before Richard passed, he wrote 2024. Sorry.
Oh, they said 2004 the first one.
Yeah, I probably did.
Okay.
I meant 24.
Okay.
So before, he wrote the last verse of It's a Small World. And it was released in a short film in Disney in 2024. And so they had previously announced that the Disneyland version would get the last verse on the 70th anniversary date, which is July 17th this year. And on Monday, today, they announced that the Magic Kingdom version will also get the update, and it will play in the ride's final scenes. So I'm going to cry.
So they're changing it to small...
Well, they're just adding a verse at the very last scene. It says, Mother Earth unites us in heart and mind. The love we give makes us humankind. Though our vast, wondrous land, when we stand hand in hand, it's a small world after all. It's so cute. So that's my exciting Disney news. That's literally all I have. And then the rest is just, you know, Heartbeat of Freedom 2025. Yeah, we knew Epcot was having July 4th fireworks. You know what I mean? There's really not anything else. And then it's just a shitload of Liberty Square, Liberty Bell. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's literally just, the Magic Kingdom got a new map. Yeah, no shit. They took a land out. You know what I mean? So there's not much going on at Disney now. But I did find, and I, like, was screenshotting, like, the art, you know, when, like, e-news makes you click the link in bio, because I knew I was going to forget stuff. First of all, Spice Girl, Scary Spice got married.
She did, and only one Spice Girl was there, Emma.
That's what I saw. That's what I saw.
But I thought they were, like, planning a world tour.
I thought they were all friends again.
All friends again and going to go on tour.
And I didn't know, like, were the rest of them not there, or did we only report that Emma was there? Do we only care about Emma? Because that's all I could find.
I mean, they said Emma Burton and, like, another celebrity.
That Carla Delevingne, who I never know who that is.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I think she played, like, a weird lesbian on what's the building? Murders in the Building.
Oh, really?
I think that was her.
Huh.
excuse me.
But yeah, I don't know why no one else was there.
Right.
Weird.
So, I mean, congratulations, Scary's Place.
If they go on tour there, I'd want to go.
Yeah, I'm interested. You know what? I don't have this in my notes, but speaking of, did you see this? You want to go this fucking Nelly tour? Did you see him and Ashanti got a show?
Yeah,
and he's talking about he's not gonna be involved in his kid's life until they can walk and talk. Fucking Nelly.
Wait, how many episodes was that?
I don't know because I didn't watch any of it. I saw it on a clip on E! News.
So I watched the first episode because I was whatever. I'm like, wow, what is this? Okay, I'm going to see him. Let's see what he's got to say. And I didn't know if it was like a documentary, if it was like a reality show, whatever. So I played the first episode, and so they're talking about how they dated. You know, they go back to like how they met in like the beginning and how they dated like way long ago. And then he was like, they were tumultuous or whatever. Like they never had like a very good relationship. And then they split up because, and then she says in it, she says, I mean, maybe if we were like, you know, he lived in St. Louis and she lived in New York. And so the split was kind of like easier because they weren't even in the same place anyways. They were like long distance. And she goes, so I mean, maybe if we were like in the same place, we probably would have been able to work it out or whatever. I'm not sure, but you know, we were separated and it was time for us to go, right? So then they get back together, like I don't know, in 20 something on that stage. I forget the timeline. But then they get back together and now they're together and they're engaged, I think, not married, and they have a little boy together. And then at the end of the first episode, they're like, well, you know, we're just like here temporarily because KK they call their son KK. I don't know. I saw his name written on something really quickly because that wasn't his like real name. Like that was like just what they called it.
Nickname.
Yeah.
Right.
But anyway, so we're just here temporarily because we're trying to decide if we want to live in St. Louis or New York because he wants to live in St. Louis and I want to live in New York. And then at the very end, like the last, you know, they're like, Nelly's like, well, I'm going to St. Louis. Like I'm living in St. Louis. Like I don't want to live in New York. And she just kind of looks at him and she's like, well, I want to live in New York. Like my family is all here. Like I want to live here. And then the episode ends and I'm like, so you guys are right where you were
20 years ago.
20 years ago with the same issue. Like you still both want to live separate lives. Like, shouldn't that have been discussed like before you got back together?
But like, yeah, or like before you get like engaged and like have, and I get that like sometimes, you know, like kids just pop up, right?
Well,
like,
they definitely said they also said the kid wasn't a mistake. Because Nelly was like, because the whoever was interviewing them was like,
wait, so they planned to have a child?
Whoever was interviewing them said, was it an oops or whatever? And he was like, don't call my kid an oops. And she was like, this was probably the most planned baby. We were not like.
Okay, but you don't use oops. I like surprise, right?
Or surprise, whatever. Maybe I don't remember.
I don't know what they said. I'm saying that's what I.
Yeah, and I don't remember what word they used. Maybe they did say surprise. Whatever, but whatever it was, Nelly didn't like it. Nelly was like, don't call my baby that. This was the most planned baby, and she was like, yeah, we were not trying. Like,
okay, so you very much planned this pregnancy, but did not decide what state or even what like region of the country, like the Midwest and like the Northeast are like St. Louis and like New York are not close places. These are like two different regions in a pretty large country, not even like just different states.
Right.
Like these are different regions in a fairly large country.
And he's like, well, my whole work is there. And she's like, well, my whole family's here. And he says many times throughout the episode that he has no family. Like he.
So why can't he work in New York?
Right. He says everything is in St. Louis. Because he's always operated out of St. Louis and she's always operated out of New York. And I don't know what they've been doing like this whole time before they got pregnant.
What do you mean you don't have a family? How about the lunatics?
I mean like family, like parents. I don't think he had a dad, and I don't know where his mom is. I thought his mom passed away, didn't she? I don't remember. But I don't know. I thought that was really weird though. Like I'm like, you guys are literally, which is probably what the show was trying to portray too. You know what I mean? Like they might, but like you guys are literally where you started, where things ended 20 years ago, and why they ended because you were in different.
But you've brought a child into it,
and now you're like, and it's her first child and his like sixth. I think fifth. I think he has two biological, which from what I understood in the episode were like adopted, like his sister's kids or something like that he took in. And now he has the one with Ashanti.
And
they're all older, the other ones.
I don't think I'm over the whole, we're still arguing about where we want to live, but our baby was planned.
Right. Or where were they living?
Where were you living when you planned
when
this?
you planned a baby?
This was so planned.
Right.
But you don't know where you want to live as a family.
No,
but this was so planned.
I don't know where they were living when all that was happening. Maybe they were going back and forth between the two. I don't know.
And I mean, like, I'm sure, like, you guys have, like, money because you're superstars at some point, but, like, you can't be balling, or you wouldn't be making a reality show. So, like, do you have the funds
I feel like
to be traveling back and forth like that?
That money doesn't last.
It doesn't. So, like...
Not the lifestyles they lead.
Right. So, like, you can't afford to be, like, flying coast to coast I mean, not coast to coast, but you know what I mean. Coast to middle of the life.
Right. Like, what do you have, 2 homes? That's expensive as fuck.
Right, because you know it's not going to be like a 2-bedroom apartment. You know what I mean?
No, they were in the episode, they were looking at fucking mattresses that cost $300,000. And Nelly was like, what the fuck? That's the cost of a house.
And, like, especially, like, in New York, like, that's a very expensive place to live. Yeah. I mean, assuming she's trying to live in the city. I don't know where she's trying to live, but, like...
I don't know where they were either. I don't know if they were in the city or not.
Like, sometimes there's, like, this guy on YouTube that pops up, and he, like, goes to, like, places in New York. I don't know. He, like, goes to, like, these apartments that are, like, 50 square feet. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and they're, like, $3,000 a month.
Yeah. Yeah, they're not living in something that small. I'm sure they're in the city, though. But, yeah, I don't know. I only watched the first episode. I don't know if I'll watch more of it. I am going to see him, though, in concert.
Yeah, I was just interested in, because, I don't know, I didn't watch it, but I keep seeing clips, and, like, he sounded kind of douchey.
Yeah, it wasn't really douchey in the first...
I'm sure, like, whoever made it look that way, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
because now I'm interested in talking about it.
Right. I wouldn't say that, at least in the first episode, that he was, a douche.
He didn't come off that way?
No.
Okay.
No.
It could absolutely just be People Magazine trying to make me feel some kind of way.
Right.
Because it worked.
But they definitely don't have their shit together. Or at least that's how the show is portraying it.
It doesn't seem that way. It doesn't seem that way. All right, let me put my low power mode on real quick because I got things in here and I don't want to lose them. All right. Jay-Z's kid.
Yeah, what?
I don't know. So apparently his name... So I saw this and it said, Jay-Z's trending because the judge has granted Raymere requests to move forward with his case. The judge has demanded Jay-Z to respond to a Raymere paternity lawsuit by July 18th.
Oh, so the kid, not kid. The one that's saying...
That's an adult.
Is his kid.
And he's claiming that his mom said that she got pregnant in 1992 at 16 years old by Jay-Z, but, like, he kind of looks like him. So this was just some random Instagram account, like, not even, like, a real news source. So I tried to look it up myself, and everything I could find was, like, similar to that, but without a judge ruling, and, like... The last thing that I found posted on just my regular Google search was like January of this year. So I'm not sure, but like I'm kind of interested. And like, it kind of looks like
I feel like Jay-Z has enough money and fucking power to scrub shit from the internet.
You know what? That makes sense.
You know what I mean?
But like, I feel like I see it.
For sure.
You know what I mean?
AI. That's not like an AI kid.
No, that's him. This is Raymere.
It looks just like him.
It looks just like him.
Like a younger version.
It looks like him, yeah.
So like that looks like you asked AI to show you what Jay-Z looked like as a 19-year-old.
Let's see if I can find his website.
You know?
I don't think I can. I mean, his Instagram, I can't find it because Jay-Z probably taken him up. No, but
I did hear that though. I feel like that's been like a storyline that comes and goes. That there's a kid out there that.
Did you see him?
Yeah, I didn't.
I feel like I've heard it, but I hadn't seen him until now, and so that's why I thought it was like a whatever, you know what I mean, money grab. But like seeing this kid,
yeah,
I don't know.
I mean, I feel like that's not like that far fetched.
No, Jay-Z impregnating a 16-year-old 1992 sounds like it makes sense to me.
Doesn't seem, no.
This all is very believable.
And then walking away from it and pretending like it wasn't him.
Right? Yeah, no, right.
Not really.
I mean, from what internet speculation, I believe the girl that you like on TikTok that you said outs things had said that like Jay-Z had gotten someone else pregnant and Beyonce had them all killed. So watch your back, Raymere.
Yeah. He's gonna get pneumonia.
He is. He's gonna get pneumonia. Diddy's gonna pneumonia you for Jay-Z to get back on his good side.
He's probably already on his good side because he didn't out him in any of this trial.
Right, he didn't snitch at all.
Yeah.
He said, you know what, I'm not even going to talk to my defense. And they said, you know what, fine, go home.
Not guilty.
Can't fucking believe it.
Did they, like, pay someone off You know what I mean?
Probably.
Is that like jury, whatever?
Yeah, that juror that was acting
Number
all fucking
25
crazy.
who was acting dumbass questions.
Probably. I wouldn't be surprised. And like, I don't know, as the juror, if, you know, Diddy's people come to you and are like, hey, you're going to get pneumonia unless you start some shit. You know what I mean?
Right.
I feel like this is all very believable.
Right.
But I also feel like it's very believable that the court just does not care what women think or say. So,
I mean, a jury of what? How many men and women is it? 12?
yeah,
What's a jury?
12. But how many were how many?
I think it was mostly men. I think there wasn't as many women on it, which was a bad move on the defense.
Stupid.
Yeah.
Stupid defense.
Because then they're probably being overpowered by the man in the room.
Right.
The dumbass number 25. Probably said, you're going to get pneumonia too if you don't do it.
He probably did. I think I gotta like move my head to block your eyes.
Oh yeah, so that's fine.
16 and pregnant. So I've only watched it in the very beginning.
Yeah,
so
me
I don't
too.
know any of these fucking people are. But Whitney Purvis was arrested for involuntary manslaughter for selling trank, which is
horse tranquilizer.
No, that's what it sounds like.
Yeah.
I screenshot this shit because it is Floyd, 16 and pregnant star. So this is from E! News. 16 and pregnant star was arrested in Floyd County, Georgia on July 7th for involuntary manslaughter, according to police reports. So she was, according to a statement, criminal charges shared by police. E! News. Purvis also faces 2 charges relating to controlled substances. The first, a felony charge for possession with intent to distribute a controlled substance. And the second, a misdemeanor charge for the use of communication facility and commission of a felony involving controlled substance. Okay, but I know I screenshotted it.
Yeah, what is trank?
Because it's like fentanyl and something.
Oh,
okay.
Shit.
Whitney Purvis did commit the offense of aggravated involuntary manslaughter. The affidavit reads, when she, without intent to cause the death of another human being, intentionally distributed a substance presented as trank, commonly known as, can't even pronounce this, xylazine, and fentanyl, to the victim, which directly contributed in the victim's death due to a toxic overdose.
Oh, xylazine, yeah.
I don't know.
That's how I would say it.
Right, xylazine?
Yeah.
And it's 1 month after her son died at the age of 16.
Oh, and she didn't go to the funeral.
Yeah,
same fucking girl. I was wondering. And I heard the story about the 16-year and pregnant girl that didn't show up at her son's funeral.
Yeah. And it says that she is accusing that it's the father's fault that the kid died because this is what she said. My son had diabetes, Addison's disease, alpha-1 antitrypsin deficiency. I don't know what that means. He had no medical insurance. He had life insurance, but his dad took a life insurance policy out on him. And she's like, he bought 5 cars, blah, blah, blah. She's like, honestly, this doesn't sound great. But she's like saying that he couldn't pay for the medical insurance, and he brags about how much money he has, blah, blah, blah. And under their custody agreement, he should have had the, he should have been paying for the insurance. Okay, but here's the thing. Sorry, now I feel like I can't see clearly from my other glasses.
Right.
Okay. So I'm not trying to like victim blame or whatever, shame you if you're not the one, but like if your custody agreement says that this person's supposed to provide insurance and they don't, but you know that your kid's going to die without it, would you not do everything in your power to figure that out? Just figure it the fuck out. Like, regardless of what the court order says, like, is your child being alive not more important than like whatever petty difference?
You dropped the ball too. Like, you didn't put insurance on your kid either, no matter what the courts say, like, get insurance on your kid.
And like, also, I'm sorry, but you're a drug dealer. You don't have money to pay for it, because she was also said in there, I didn't read all of it, that like the dad should have been paying for the insurance, and the insurance would have gave him there's a name for it, Dexicom thing, right? Like
Eric has the thing one. On your
right. So like to tell you like if you spike too low or whatever, so you know that you need to eat something, deal with your life,
that
whatever.
Poor kid.
But they're not that. I mean, they're kind of expensive, but like if you're a drug dealer and no one's gonna pay for insurance, you don't want to like just go get one of these from the pharmacy to make sure that your kid's alive. At the very least, you could have paid for the Dexicom,
right?
I don't know.
That poor child.
The poor child, right? And like, I don't know. She seems like a real fucking piece of work. Like, you didn't go to your kid's funeral. You're over here. And okay, I'm sure that the custody agreement does say that the dad has to pay for insurance. And maybe he took a life insurance policy out. Maybe he's a piece of shit. Sounds about right. But
you're not any better.
Who the fuck are you?
Like pointing fingers,
right?
In a glass house,
right? Like, regardless of who's supposed to do what, the well-being of your child comes before all of that. Do what needs to be done for your kid, regardless of who you think should be doing it. You still have to if no one else is.
Right. 100%.
Right. And like, also, what are you doing selling fucking fentanyl?
Fuck, man. And then you're fucking killing someone else.
Now you're killing someone else's kid.
Oh, that's fucking terrible.
Terrible. Terrible. I got more. Not on her, but something else, I'm sure. Because I did just, like, I had some time today.
Yeah.
So Sophia Hutchins was Caitlyn Jenner's friend, and she died in a fatal crash. She was trying to pass somebody on a cliff in a four-wheeler.
What the fuck? I don't know who she is.
Me neither. But I was just interested because...
But that's...
So, you know, there's, like, rumors that, like, Caitlyn transitioned because she had killed somebody in a car and she was trying to, like, get a lighter sentence, right? So, like, whenever I see, like, an accident...
I've never heard that.
Yeah, she was in, like, she was in a car accident and the other person died and she was at fault, and that was when she was Bruce. And people were saying that she had transitioned to, like, try to, at least if she went to prison, get into a woman's prison. I don't know, because apparently, according to Kris Jenner, she had been cross-dressing the whole time, and, like, this was a normal thing, but also we know that Kris Jenner lies to, like, uplift her family and, like, do things. Right. So I don't know any, but whenever I see Caitlyn Jenner in a car accident in the same sentence, I always have to read the article. Yeah. So that's the only reason that I even read this shit. Yeah. And it said, according to a statement shared by police with E! News, Purvis faces 2 charges relating to, oh, never mind. Wrong one. Sophia Hutchins. Okay. She manager died in an ATV crash in Southern California on July 2nd. Authorities shared insight into what led up to the incidents. She was driving a 2013 Polaris four-wheeler. She rear-ended a 2016 Mazda sedan in the mountains of Malibu before falling off a 350-foot cliff. It doesn't seem like she was following them. I think she just came up to them and hit the car, and it looked like she tried to maneuver to go around another car and hit that car, and then flew off the cliff in a four-wheeler.
Holy fuck.
Right, so just insane stuff.
The fuck?
That's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, those California roads are freaking scary.
Right. I don't think I'd be like...
the mountain roads in California, fuck them.
I don't think I'd be, like, passing people and stuff. You know what I mean? Like, you know that's got to be a double line on a mountain curve.
There's probably not even a line, to be honest. I mean, some of those fucking roads are barely big enough for 2 cars to fit.
Let alone passing people.
Let alone passing people on the edge of a fucking mountain. I'll never forget when we went to, I don't know if I've told this story on here before, but we went to, what is it? Is it Yosemite, Yellowstone? What is the one that's in California?
Yeah, Yosemite, right?
I think it's is it? I don't know. Whatever one is in, like, Northern California. And I was in, like, a little Kia Soul, a rental, and we went to, I think it's Yosemite. I think Yellowstone is the one that's in, like, Wyoming or something.
I think so too.
Because that's the one with the book.
Yosemite.
Not the book, but the show. So we go to Yosemite. We have a great day, whatever. It's just a quick day trip. We were there for, like, Chris was working there, and we had just, like, flown out there, and we were, like, just wanted something to do for the day. And then when we drove back, I put it in my little GPS, and it says save an hour by taking this route. It was, like, a lot of time. It wasn't just, like, a 10-minute save. You know what I mean? It might have not been an hour, but it was a lot of time.
It made sense to take the route.
So I'm like, okay, whatever, let's do it. But it didn't. It wasn't highways. And I'm like, okay, whatever, it's not highways. Big deal. From a little Florida girl, who fucking cares it's not highways? What is it, a back road? Cool.
It was crazy mountain passes.
Don't fucking take back roads in fucking California, okay? Because this thing was on the side of a mountain that literally 2 cars could not fit. And it was just like a wall, like the mountain, and your little tiny road that my Kia Soul barely fit on, and then a fucking cliff 3,500 feet below. Not that far, but it was scary.
I would not.
And then it wasn't a one-way road or anything either. So, like, you never fucking knew when you turned a corner if there was going to be another fucking car in front of you, and then you were going to have to back up because every once in a while there was, like, a little bit of space on this tiny mountain road where you could get over so that another car could pass you. And I was like, and it was getting dark. And I don't think I've ever had, and I had my kids in my car and another kid that wasn't mine in my car. And I don't think I've ever had that much anxiety in my life.
Yeah, that sounds terrifying.
Like, it was the scariest drive. And I did approach another car, and thank God they must have been locals because they just put that thing in reverse and backed on up like it was nothing, because I was not. I was going to stay right there. And they were going to have to move. And they did. And then I finally got off of it before, like, it got dark. And I was like, I think my knuckles were like white, you know what I mean? Like from gripping the steering wheel.
Because that's terrifying.
So tight. And like, it took me a very long time to recover from that. I don't think I truly am. So
I was gonna say, I feel like you're definitely still holding some of that.
I will never like go, if I ever go back to the California mountains, I will never choose the route that's not the highway.
Yeah, that sounds terrifying. I wouldn't want to be on that road.
Like, yeah, I guess like, I didn't even think of it. It didn't even cross my mind that it could be like that because like here in Florida, like, okay, it's a back road. It's just some fucking country roads.
Right.
Not fucking mountain roads.
Right. The worst thing
like I should have known that, but like I just didn't like even consider that.
I don't think I would have. You know what I mean? Like I get it. Like that would be terrifying.
Yeah, it was so scary. So I don't know if that's the kind of road that old Sophie, what was her name, Sophia?
Yeah, Sophia Hutchins, I think, right?
Was on, but I can tell you that there are roads out there that are not fucking fun.
Yeah, Sophia Hutchins.
No, thank you.
No. And then I have Mel B, but we just said that. Kelly Osbourne got engaged at Ozzy Osbourne's last show to Sid Wilson, another heavy metal guy. Emma. Oh, they think they saw this guy?
Yeah, the guy that killed the kid, his daughters.
Yeah, they think this
that like is in the forest. Yeah, how do you know? I don't know. Is he alive? Like, God, like he literally. I mean, does he get away with it? So he's either dead, or he's gonna come and like start a new life and have a whole new identity. And I don't know because I don't. At this point, I don't think they're finding him.
No, but what do you do to start a new identity? You have to like burn your fingerprints.
Well, what are you fingerprinting for?
Anything.
When have you ever given your fingerprints?
Oh, to get my real estate license?
Well, it just doesn't become a realtor.
I feel like there's other times but that's the most recent time I've been fingerprinted.
I've never been fingerprinted.
Really?
Yeah, ever.
I feel like there's definitely.
I feel like unless you commit a crime, you're not getting fingerprinted. I was gonna say,
I think I got fingerprinted in jail too.
Yeah, you gotta commit a crime. But if you like live your life and start over and you don't commit crimes, then you're not getting fingerprinted and you don't become a realtor. And you just get a new ID. People make that shit. There are people out there that can just erase you. At some point, you'll be declared dead, and then you'll just and you can just take over someone else's identity. That.
How are you gonna get a real ID?
I don't know. They make that shit. People.
I don't know. My sister's having a really hard time getting hers.
Really?
Yeah, because she can't fly without it. Yeah, but she's trying to like change her name and get a real ID, and she's having a very hard problem. And I was like, I have a real ID. She was like, you never changed your name. I was like, yeah, fair enough.
That's annoying. That shouldn't be that difficult.
You would think so. She's having a really hard time with it.
It's required. Like she's not the only person to change her name.
Right. And you know what? I had a conversation with someone else the other day who told me that they had such a hard time changing their name they gave up and just didn't do it. So she has been having issues with that. So how do you get a real ID? Well, I mean, but if you're this crazy naturalist guy, do you need a real ID? Does he need to fly?
Right.
No,
there's
you don't need to fly.
sketch people out there that'll help you do anything you fucking have enough money to do.
Well, I hope he gets eaten by a bear instead. That would be fun.
Yeah, I mean, I hope that he doesn't get to start a new life. I hope he's dead somewhere in the woods. A gruesome death. That they had their baby.
Yeah, that's all I know.
Yeah. Jen Affleck. The Mormon wives. Jen had her baby. But wasn't there like 7 of them pregnant? It's not that many, but there was. I feel like.
I don't know. I still didn't watch the show.
I feel like she wasn't the only one pregnant. But she was the one pregnant like in the beginning of the season. But I feel like by the end of it, there was 2 more pregnant. Whitney and whatever. It's been out long enough if y'all haven't watched it.
Yeah, I didn't, so I don't know.
Michaela and...
Isn't she like
who's the one that wrote the book? Yeah. Mackenzie? Is that one too? No. What the fuck was her name? I'm sorry. I can't think of it right now. But there was 2 pregnant by the end of it. They were like best friends. Michaela and... Dang, I liked her. I liked her too. She was probably my favorite this season. I can't remember her name. Must have not been that memorable. We said that about a girl the other day. I was being a mean girl. But she deserved it. And it's like... I don't know. Every time I see this girl, I don't remember that I know her.
That's really funny.
And I was like, and she just like did whatever, something. And I was like, man, how terrible to be that unmemorable.
Then you're like, damn, on me.
Yeah, but she
had it coming?
Yeah, so. On another note, we're not going to get into that.
Well, sometimes you just
I don't know who listens to this shit.
Yeah, but sometimes just some other people that you don't like. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, they just put them out of your mind. I feel like that's fair. One time, I was at, like, a networking thing, and this woman came up to me, and she was like, we were good friends. I was like, who the fuck are you?
Yeah.
And then I called someone else who I was good friends with at the time, and they're like, oh, that's so-and-so. We don't like her. And I was like, oh, well, that's why I didn't know who the fuck she was talking about.
Right. Right. I'm like, well, every time, whatever. We're not going to go into that. Sorry. Anything else?
I don't think so. I mean, we can just scroll real quick. I was just looking, we're at 50 minutes because I felt like we're always like, we don't have anything to say. And then an hour later.
Right.
This is all the things that I've sent myself so far, but I mean, because this is all from last week. Oh, we don't know what happened yet, but the Disney cruise, he didn't put that kid on the thing.
I saw that.
We don't know
and
what happened.
The girl was 5.
And she was 5.
So remember, I was like, she looked a little older, not like toddler, but I thought maybe more like 8 or 9. I think I had said.
Yeah.
But yeah, so she was 5, and witnesses are saying he did not put her up there.
Yeah. That's what they're saying. That's what they're saying. So
that's good.
Apologizing if we were like, why the fuck would you do that? I don't remember what we said, but I feel like we would say that.
Right. I don't remember what we said either. I think we were very neutral on that. We were like, well, if he did, why the fuck would you do that? But we don't know if he did.
So he didn't.
Yeah.
But then I feel like that brings up even more questions, like, because you assume that a Disney cruise is super safe. So, like, if he didn't put her on the rail, how the fuck did she go over?
Well, yeah, they said he was playing shuffleboard or something like that. Like, he was playing a game, so she wasn't, like, right next to him, but in the area, like, in the room with him, probably, like, the shuffleboard tier,
it said she
the
fell
railings.
out a port window.
Yeah, it wasn't the balcony. It wasn't, right?
Right. She fell out a port window, which is, like, even crazier.
Right, that no one saw her climbing up there? Or maybe obviously he did because he went in right after her. So, I mean, shit happened so fucking fast.
You're right, especially those
so
kids.
fucking fast. And he obviously saw her and reacted to be able to find her in the water. He must have went in right after her.
Yeah.
So,
my question is just, like, for Disney, like,
oh yeah, why is that a thing? Like, why is
this is a cruise that you know is for kids,
children?
Right? Why is a child able to be open and go out of a port window on a Disney cruise? Right. Like, I mean, I know that there are some other cruise lines that are like considered discounted cruise lines, and that would make sense. But like, Disney's expensive, and your main audience is children. Like, I agree with Disney adults, and I'm fine with it because I am one myself. But like, I also know that there's kids here, and what?
Right.
Why
like,
would
that
she
should not be able to
right,
happen
right. That's my problem. Like,
But I mean, obviously, there's usually some sort of protection because it doesn't happen often. Right.
I've never heard of it before.
Something must have failed.
Right. Maybe it was an accident or something was broken.
The lock wasn't locked. I don't know I don't know, but I just feel like you don't hear of that happening often. The cruisers go out multiple times a day, every day. It's not like there's obviously some sort of precautions in place because it would happen more often if there wasn't.
Right.
Something but thank God her dad fucking reacted that quick and actually was able, like, 5 years old, that's young still. And they said she couldn't swim. So how did she even fall in? She obviously went in and still was able to go back up.
And then, like, for the rescue to be able to get them in enough time for him to be able to tread water and hold her.
That far, like,
it's crazy.
Fucking wild. Like, that girl, she's gonna have a crazy two truths and a lie when she's older.
Right?
Like,
right? She'll win every time.
Yeah. Or she'll be remembered, like, people, well, no, her age won't remember it. Like, the parents will remember the story.
Right,
you know?
Right, because that is wild.
Yeah.
And while we're talking about young kids, we didn't say rest in peace to everybody in Texas.
Oh, yeah, like, our thoughts and not much.
I don't know what to say, but I feel like it has to be mentioned.
Yeah,
right?
because
like, it's insane.
That was wild.
Man, it was so crazy for me to, like, see, like, the ages of these kids, because, like, that's close to Ferris's age.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, these were, like, 7-year-olds that were in, apparently, like, the 2 cabins were the ones that washed away are the closest to the river, and that's where the 7 and 8-year-olds live. And it's like, I don't know, just, like, in general, wouldn't you put older kids closer to the water? Like, just in case, like, they get up and act, like, stupid in the middle of the night. You know what I mean?
I don't know. But the whole cabin's washed away.
Right.
And then, it's not just, I mean, obviously there's little kids in there, and the kids are so young, but then, like, you've got these, like, teenage,
they're like 18 with their whole lives ahead of them.
Yeah, and they're trying to keep being responsible for 12 kids floating down a river, like, and then like I just
the whole thing is just heartbreaking.
Yeah, like,
and not even just them. Like, there's like other families that were like
there's RV parks, and there was not much warning. Well, like a flash flood, there's
can't
no
be much warning. That's the whole point. Flash flood. Right. It was just
and they
such
said it
a terrible
happened.
thing.
Any video I watched of like a time lapse of how fast the water
it was like 30
rose.
feet in like less than 2 hours. And I've been seeing different on that. Like, some people are saying an hour, 2 hours. Either one is insane. 30 feet in 2 hours is fucking unimaginable.
Right.
I can't wrap my mind around that much
like
water.
And I don't know. Do you know what water's so scary? Do you know what caused it? Was it a lot of rain, or did a dam break, or like?
So from what I understand it was like a month's worth of fucking rain in like an hour. It was just and so what I'm seeing is that like some meteorologists were calling for it, but then not enough were, so they had extra staffing around, but maybe not as much as what it was expected to be. And then I think also some of these mass alerts, like, you get them so often, so they're saying that like they send out these mass alerts, but like, you know, we get these tornado warnings, and then the tornado doesn't come.
You just said that, like, we get we get flash flood warnings all the fucking time, and it's like a little water on the street.
And so from what I'm understanding is like they sent out the warnings, but like people didn't think that it would be that. They thought it would be, because they get warnings when they get 5 inches of rain.
A little bit of rain,
right.
And the river rises a little bit.
So I think it was just like, the term is a perfect storm, but I don't want to say that because I hate using the word perfect in such a devastating situation. But it was just like enough wrong fucking conditions at the wrong fucking time. Just fucked.
Right.
It's just, you know, like we're in like that weird summer season, and like there's pictures of like this valley that like they were planning on having their 4th of July, and that night it was all scheduled for that night. And the pictures from like the night before to like now it's 30 feet underwater. Like, they just weren't. There were some forecasts that called for a crazy amount of rain, but I still think even those didn't call for that much. And they like had like double the staffing for some of these disaster places, but like the staffing was normally 2. So they had like, and they said they had more than double. And I saw one, it was like the staff would normally be like 2 to 3, and there was like 7 of them there. 7 people aren't going to save 100 people in a river no matter what.
Right.
What? Like, and I think
it's like small towns too, so it's like small town resources. It's not
right. There's not 100 people. There's not like, even if when the, you know, like that was my only like weird thought was like, if you knew it was going to be this bad and you knew that people might like boy cried wolf on these text alerts, would you not have like the police out Paul Revere-ing? You know what I mean? Like the police out in the streets yelling, "Get to higher ground!" Right. But like, well, you have enough of them to do that.
Well, I watched a video of, it was a Ring video of a woman who heard a lot of commotion outside and went out front, and there was a cop that said, "You hear all those people screaming? They're in the river. You need to go."
Okay, good.
And she ran inside, grabbed her dog, and left. And she's alive because of that.
Because of that.
Like, but
so they don't have enough cops to do that.
I just got goosebumps, like, because like I couldn't
thank
imagine
God for
like
them, for her.
hearing, but the cop couldn't do anything for the people that were in the river.
Right? What's he gonna do? He's one person. Right. All he can do is help the people that aren't in the river get to safe ground.
And then there was like a lot of, I don't know, like whatever. But there was videos of like the camp survivors, and they're like getting trucked across river water in like military vehicles. So like there was fast.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Like, response, you know what I mean? But it wasn't obviously on standby because no one was expecting it to be what it was.
Right. And that's what I saw too, is that like, or some of them, like, they did think that something might happen, so they had extra staff, but still like 7, you know, like I just said, like it was, they would normally have 2 people there and they had 7. So it's still not enough because you didn't expect that. Even if you thought there was going to be a crazy flood, I don't think you thought it would be that.
30 feet is insane.
In hours? This is unheard.
Like 30 feet. Do people like 30?
That's insane.
Can you imagine going 30 feet in the ocean?
No.
You don't even like 30 feet down in the ocean?
That would be like this parking lot being 30 feet underwater in an hour. In an hour.
Like, I'm like in the river the other day, and we like stopped at a fishing spot that was like 10 feet, and I was like, wow, it's really deep where we are. You know, like you're 15. It was like 15 feet, and I was like, wow, it's really deep where we are.
And that's not even half of it. And that's in water that you expected it to be deep. This is like a fucking field. Like the river rose, but like there was also like just flat ass land that got 30 feet of water, or whatever. No, but I don't think there was a dam. I think it was just an insane amount of fucking rain.
Oh, that's fucking terrible.
From what I haven't seen anything about a dam break, at least.
Yeah, I mean, it's I'm pretty sure where it flooded was like outside of Houston, and Houston is actually like known to flood, so they probably do, which goes back to that they constantly get flash flood warnings. Because Houston's like known to flood, so they probably get that shit all the time.
And I think they just didn't think it was that serious. I don't think that the people that sent out the flood warnings realized it was that serious until it came on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't seem like anyone expected that. Like, and because I saw it on Friday night, and like I said, like, it really like hit close to home because it was the same age that my kid is, and he's so young to me.
So sad.
And like, again, like the teenagers too, but it was a lot of very young kids. And so like I've been like following it closely because I don't know, been like a train wreck, you know what I mean? Like, I can't look away.
Like, it's sad no matter, like, all the lives lost are terrible, like, you know.
But a shitload of little kids?
A bunch of little kids just off at summer camp. Like,
and that's what I'm thinking about. Like, I can't imagine, like, dropping my kid off and thinking, like, oh my God, this is, like, your first camp experience. You're going to have so much fun. And you're taken away by a river.
Yeah.
It's insane. It's insane. But, so I was going to say, so I've been following everything I can find just because I'm so, like, train wreck about it. And, like, this area has flooded like 5 times in like recorded history pretty badly, but this was still like the most.
Right.
In like over 100 years, it's never been, like you're saying, like the area is known to flood, but not like that.
Right.
Not like that. So, terrible.
Yeah. It sucks.
Yeah.
Hopefully there's
right,
more.
You didn't even know what to say.
I know. I just hope that maybe more survivors are found too. You know, that they're still out there searching.
Yeah, I hope they do find some more survivors.
I heard stories of like people being found, like clung to trees and shit. And then I saw this one video of a guy in a truck, and it happened so fast he had to shoot out his window. In Texas, had a gun. And get on the roof of his truck, and then he was stuck on the roof of his truck for hours, and thank God his truck got like stuck on a barbed wire fence, so it didn't move with the water. It didn't wash away, like it was stuck there, and the water never like got higher than his roof, so he survived, like, but was up there for hours before he was rescued.
And after like shooting your truck window out,
right? And he's like he's like videoing, and at the end of the video he like pans to like this tree, and he was like, the water's rushing over him. I mean, he's in like an F-250 or whatever, and he's on the roof of it, and the water is like at the roof line. So, and it's just rushing by, you know, and he's like panning it and he's showing it. And then he gets to this tree, and he was like, very calmly, he goes, that tree was underwater 5 minutes ago. And so like, it was like, how is he so calm? That's so crazy.
In shock.
Right. But, and then he's also like, I guess trying to say like, the water's going down because that tree was underwater, so that's a good sign for me. Maybe that.
Right.
I don't know. But he was like an old man.
Yeah.
Glad he made it. Yeah, but then stories of that, you know, there's stories of survival and a lot. But
I saw a video or a picture of like 2 like young girls in like a army helicopter with like their muddy legs. So like I was glad to like see them.
Yeah.
Ugh. Just terrifying.
Yeah. Hopefully the families can find some sort of peace in such a tragedy, but I know that's not something that you can ever easily.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
and hopefully
now that we brought it down.
I know. I just think like hopefully they get closure too. You know, because some people, I hate to be this morbid, but or whatever down, but sometimes, you know, they're not found. You know what I mean? Like,
and like. That's almost worse, not knowing. You know what I mean? I mean, like, I don't know. I guess, like, there's still some hope, but, like, are you going to drive yourself crazy with lost hope?
Right, yeah, no, I would want to know definite. I don't think I would want that.
Right.
Unknown.
And that's what every time you see another one pop up and it's like, this person has been found and the family appreciates that they know what happened, but
right.
They're requesting you leave them alone. Every time I see one of those, I'm like, oh, shit. Because, you know, those are never, like, found in a good way.
Right. I saw one too, because remember, I don't know if you saw when it first happened, and all those girls' pictures were like getting sent out, and there was like phone numbers in case like so they knew the parents, like if you found this child, this is who to call. So one of the girls was found, you know, and she didn't make it, and there was like a statement put out saying like their family's contact information was circulated. Please refrain from.
I've seen a couple of those messages. Yeah. Like I feel like every time one's found that didn't make it, they
please refrain from texting that number. Like, I
sad
really
you have to
hope
say that
people aren't doing that.
Sad you have to say that, right? Like, why would you contact
they
them?
do not want condolences sent to their text message from Joe Schmo.
No,
sorry,
no,
they
don't text them.
Write your condolences on a Facebook post and
to the news
on.
Or something. Leave them alone.
Right, leave the family alone. I hope people aren't really doing that.
I really hope not to, but people are wild, so who knows?
Right.
But like, leave them alone. Even if you
get
mean
their
well,
number
it's
and
not.
Text, I'm so sorry. Fuck. Oh my God. I hope that's not happening. I could not imagine. All right. Well, I guess on that note.
All right. Now that we brought it down.
We're gonna end it right here, leaving you all sad, so that you have to come back next week to laugh again.
Wah, wah.
Wah, wah, wah.
It's a pretty good plan. Pretty good business model we've got going here.
See what we did there?
All right.
All right, well, enjoy your week.
Peace out.
K-Town down.
If you like this, share with a friend. Don't forget to like and follow.
And find us on all social media at parkinglotchats.podcast. That's Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. Same handle.
Thanks for being here.